Hello everyone and welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again and we're playing Spin and Goes today on a Wednesday. How you guys doing? Hello everybody. So today we're going to do something slightly different. It's not really that different, but it's different because it's relevant to what we're going to do in the future. So essentially my plan today is to trial something that we've been discussing for a little while. So you guys know I want to do a spin and go challenge. I know that for the spin and go challenge, probably playing more than one table is going to be necessary. It's also something that we haven't done a lot of in the past. We've always focused on one tabling specifically to try and make it a bit more educational. But I think doing two tables on stream will allow us to get through the kind of volume required to complete one of these challenges and actually play a reasonable amount of volume throughout the course of a single session. This is important to me because number one, I think more volume is better in terms of showing skill. Number two, I think in order to complete a challenge that involves volume, we need to play volume, and playing one table at a time is obviously not very time efficient. And number three, in order for this challenge to be interesting, I think there has to be more volume because there's more swings, and then also we're going to have a greater volume of hands that we can draw from in terms of actually trying to get some justifiable results. If we play 500 games, anything could happen. Even with the best players in the world, anything could happen. If we play 1,000 games, we're getting a little bit closer. If we play 2,000, 4,000 games, now we're starting to get to the point where it's a reasonably decent sample to try and get some somewhat relevant chip results. Chip results actually probably will be relevant at 4K. Somewhat relevant dollar results, and so on and so forth. And then if you guys enjoy this content moving forward, we'll increase the volume and we'll actually play for some very serious sums. At the moment, because we're sort of already a few months into the year, because it's going to be a busy rest of the year and I'm not going to have as much time at home with all the traveling, we're probably going to start around 100K. We're going to play $100,000 worth of spins. Now, the question is, do we do that at the 25s? Do we do it at the 50s? Do we do it at the 100s? Well, based on what I just said, theoretically, we would probably want to play a lower stake because then we would have to play more volume in order to accomplish that target and have more of a sample. But then also, if the whole point is that we're lowering the number because we want to try and make sure that we get through it before the end of the year, then probably upping that is more reasonable because we'll get through it faster. Plus, we'll play for bigger money. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. Again, I've got a lot to hash out. I'm still settling into the new flat. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of moving pieces, and I kind of need to sit down on my own in a room with a paper and a pen and nothing else and just hash out exactly what I want to try and accomplish this year, because I've got a lot of ideas and they're all kind of going in different directions. And, you know, I have a lot of responsibilities as stars too. So we'll figure it out. That's for me to figure out, not for you guys to figure out, but I like to share these things with you guys. We're going to play spins today and we're going to try and do our new two table situation. So previously we did have something that looked like this. Previously, we had this, and that means we can have two tables on the screen at the same time. Now, in my opinion, this is a better way to do spin and goes if you're going to two table, because what ends up happening is it's clear which table we're making reference to at any given moment. Now, the problem is this is a little bit small, especially if you're on mobile, and it can be a little bit difficult to follow along with what's going on. If I'm talking about something and you're looking at the wrong table, usually I would say on the left table, on the right table, whatever. That seemed to, I mean, that makes sense to me. But we're going to trial something else today, and I want your guys' feedback. So moderators, please pay attention, as you always do. But in particular, you guys know what looks good is why I'm saying that, because you guys watch a lot of poker. So we're going to try a slightly different thing. We're actually going to switch between tables. We're going to have two tables. They're going to be full screen, as though they're over on this sort of layout over here. So it's going to look like this, except we're going to have two tables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the felt color of the tables, so it should be obvious which one we're on. Let me know if you guys can follow along. 2 tables isn't crazy fast, but once we get to heads up, it is a little bit hectic, and I don't know. Let's just see how it works. This is all part of the testing phase. It could be that perhaps, we just want to do this view in future. The other issue that I have with this is if I'm going to do any clipping from this, if we want to make short form content, zooming in into these smaller tables is really not as clean, and it doesn't look nearly as nice when you're trying to do clipping, but whatever, we'll check it out. Hello everybody in the chat. Thank you very much to our power mods for being here. Hello Mean Boo, welcome Smeeble. Have to get a passport appointment completed for Maverick today. Well, good luck with the passport, Smeeble. Always a pleasure to have you here. And Joni's here. What's up? Big Deal. What's up? Good to see you, man. The official Big Deal Online. I'll never forget Big Deal Online. And Soren's here as well. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and fire up some spins, and I'll show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. Okay. Just really quick, actually. Well, that's interesting. We could actually do a combination of all three. I didn't think about that. We can do a combination of all three. So really quick, let me adjust this transition override. Okay. So now, let's say theoretically, copy this. And then we'll do this one like this. All right, so what we could do actually is have this set with table left, table right, and then go to the full screen when it's relevant. That actually this might be the solution, guys, because if there's a big moment we want to kind of take it full screen. Okay. Let's try this. This has literally just come to me just now. Seems obvious now I think about it, but there you are. All right, so we're going to fire up 2 $25 spins, assuming the first one isn't for like $1 million. Give me a sec, guys. We'll pull it up in a sec. All right, so 75. And we have 2 super regs, which is just lovely. You'd love to see that. All right, so this is going to be this one. And this is going to be this one. And then my intention was to do something like this, and then something like this. Maybe more stark colors, so it's clear which one is left, which one is right. Maybe if that works for you guys. And then if we want to go here, we go here. Otherwise, we can't. Okay, this is good, right? Okay, I think this is the answer, guys. Because if we have big moments, we can zoom. Otherwise, we keep it on the 2, and it's easy to follow. If you guys can do so. Let me know what you guys think. If this is a pleasant viewing experience. I think with the different colors and the ability to zoom, I think this actually looks really nice now. And this has literally just come to me just in this very moment. So fold over here. Yeah, this is nice actually. That way we're not always jumping constantly. Interesting. We didn't bet the flop here. I think checking the turn is still fine as well. And on the river, we do want to consider maybe doing some hero calling. Ooh, the 1 big blind bet, though. Honestly, that's probably begging for a call from a 6 or a 7. I'm going to make a tight fold there because I don't... Rustlin is totally capable of having bluffs like that. But... Energy was wrong. The feeling was wrong. Strank E, man. The official Strankster. This is the line. This is a check. Smeal says 1080 and 60p. Nick is very clear and fancy slick hair. Good looking. It's not intentionally slick. I just got out of the shower. This isn't like the style, I'm afraid. Fold here. Check this one. Smeeble likes the layout. Good. So yeah, we got 60 turned on now as well. So actually when we're doing our gaming, hopefully that'll look a lot smoother. Hopefully that will look a lot smoother in when we're doing our gaming as well. The ability to zoom can get a focus on big moments, then we fall back to normal. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page, dude. All right, king, queen, go for the steal. John says, excellent setup, Immo. Good, John. Your praise is very... Any praise from you is high praise. Confirmed Twitch super reg. We have 2 tables, which gives us the watchers a lot to see, but you on top, it's a great layout. Is this OBS? This is OBS, yeah. Everything I've ever done has been in OBS here. All streaming is usually done through OBS for most people. Pretty smooth though, right? This might be the way. Kmar says, back at it again. Nice, hello. Like the different board felt much easier on the eyes. Good. I'm glad you agree too. Your feedback is very, very valuable to me, guys. This one is just the fold, I believe. All right, now I just got to figure out the positioning here for the body. There we go. Fold that one. Fold this one. It does feel nice to have 2 tables, though. I feel like sometimes when I'm one tabling, I overthink spots a little bit too much. When you have two things that are demanding your attention, like a lot of the instinct comes back into it. You're just kind of like, yeah, this doesn't feel like a good spot, and you're just moving on rather than trying to overthink it a lot. This probably feels like a call. It probably has to be be honest, guys. Wish me luck. We're gonna get rewarded for the 2 tables. Nice. All right, guys. So over here on the right, I think we're defending pretty much any suited hand, and I think we're probably going to want to get the chips in here. And 9-10 definitely needs the call. And just the float here on the right, I think, is fine. I think we get enough information by calling, although the turn might be a check jam. Simply because, you know, our opponent is going to bet this flop and turn as a bluff very often. So I think we have quite a lot of fold equity on the turn plus equity. So I think we're going to go for it. Stranky. Nice. Very cute move there. So we called him in raise. Now we need to lead large. On the right-hand side here, King Jack probably can go in. Wish me luck, guys. And on the left, we managed to make the straight. Can we win a flip on the right? No flip. Okay, all good. And now I think we go for something like this. If we get raised, we're calling, of course. The trick here is to try and induce with the 8-9 with the diamond blocker. And the induce is successful. All right, so first game won on the left. Nick's new golf name, Slick Thick Walsh. That's right. All right, so on the right, we lost our flip again. We don't lose too much equity in those situations, so I think it's all good. Pocket fours definitely need to go in here, though. Let's fire another table over here. So the table on the left is going to be this one. All right. We managed to flop a set, but diamond's no good on the left there. 2 more games. Oh, sorry, wrong table, guys. There we go. 75. I like that it goes right to the table with the transition, without the transition animation. That's it, Tom. Yeah. So what I discovered in OBS, I don't think it's a new feature, but it's one that I wasn't aware of, but it is relatively new. I think it's in the last few years. Is you can have the transition built into every scene, but then you can disable it on certain scenes. So I had to build 3 separate new scenes that look the same as our normal one, and then I turn their transitions off, so we just have a nice little fade effect. It's going to be an adjustment to remember to change scenes, but it seems like it's going to be good. Yeah, I just got to figure out like the sort of flow of it, right? Like figure out when we want to draw focus. So for example, table left now is dead. So if we're switching to table right here, I think we're just going to do this not all in against the unknown player. Happy to get the chips all in here if we can. And just the jam, I think, with our offsuit ace queen. So on the left here, guys, definitely not limping to fold the suited hand. Seems very reasonable to call. We do pick up a flush draw with the queen high. Queen high can be winning here, of course, as well. We don't necessarily need to be turning our hand to a bluff. On the right, we're just going to go ahead and fire with our nice top pair. And honestly, on the left here, guys, I think we can probably just afford to check down. Like queen high is going to be beating a lot of his ISO bluffs pre-flop. Yeah, story checks out. Folding there, folding here. I think the other thing about one tabling as well is you feel like this pretty like sincere need to act quickly because it's like right in front of you. You're only focusing on one thing. But the but when you're multi-tabling, you realize how many more seconds you actually have to decide how to proceed. Just check the turn here, I think, as well, guys. Pocket eights. We have a straight draw now. With this run out, I don't know. We can definitely be winning here. I'm a bit concerned. Obviously, clubs are a concern as well. Against the unknown, I don't know how often they bluff like this. I'm going to make a tight fold. And over here, we're all in with the AK on the left-hand side. So the thing I got to remember to do, guys, is I got to remember to change the felts, don't I? What? 6 deuce? Oh, he was short. Okay. Fair enough. So we eliminate a player there. What are the felts that we like to do though? We got to get used to like how about like red and blue? Red and blue, like red pill, blue pill. Sneaky boy. This guy has really big ISO sizes, this Anatsuk guy. If we call here, how often is he just going to blast off? I'm just going to fold. Yo, Raza, what's up? First time chatter, hello. My name is Mike, hello. Good to see you as well. A7 on the left here feels like it's somewhat close. I'm going to make a tighter fold there as well. Yeah, Mike, we're trialing a new layout. We're going to try and do a mix of 2 tabling that's split, and then we can focus on individual tables as well. So we're still in limping territory with our weakest stuff here. On the right-hand side, we're just going to go ahead and push. Pretty straightforward bet with the 8 tray, I think. Yeah, Tom, it's if you're going to be doing, if you're doing MTTs or anything like that, it just makes sense that you would have a transition in that fashion. All right, 8 deuce suited will come out of that range, I think, when we're this shallow. 5s we're happy to just go bust with. Just as a push, it's not big enough of a pair to find the ISO not all in. And the limp call with King Jack I think is good. Definitely approved. Unfortunate river. Over here, guys, we're going to go ahead and ISO as a bluff with the 8 tray. Yeah, I'm just not going to get mixed up in that one. Let's fire another table. If you have stars caption, you could probably have it do it automatically. What the registration. Red and blue is good. Okay, that's the bit that I'll probably struggle to remember, so bear with me, guys. Versus the full pot. You know, I think Queen High can be winning here quite often, but hopefully these larger sizings will get punished in a moment on the right-hand side in the red. We're going to trap King Jack. We're calling a shove if we need to. This is not a very nice flop, though. Still one that we probably want to be betting on the ace-high texture. Double gut shot over here. Feel like we're getting owned there, but there you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a really good turn. On the right-hand side, we're going to call here, guys. Wish me luck. Good spots. Yeah, story checks out. Now on the left here, guys, we've managed to turn the straight. And he's going big again. I don't see any reason to get more aggressive. I think we just keep calling. Hopefully it's not a bad river. I think that's considered a pretty bad river. It's a bit of an action killer. We still managed to get a lot of chips in the middle. There's a universe where when we shove here, he just says, oh, cool, I'm not folding kings or something, which is nice. All right. So big pot regardless. This is no. This one will take to a flop on the right. Oh, the table colors. Yeah, I know what you mean. Stars caption could help with the registration as well, but I think we probably want to just control it. Like on stream, it's not. We want to play more tables, but also we want the ability to stop and start if we want. This is definitely going to be a call. On this turn on the right-hand side, King High becomes quite a strong hand, really. Just check. Oh, you luck box. 7 on the river, bro. Get out of my life. Guys, bluffing with the best hand, and river is a 7. This geezer luck boxing that 7 for a pretty big pot there, and then we get cold decked ace king to ace 8 suited. This is obviously 100% call on the right hand side, so we're not concerned. Pretty standard stuff. We make 2 good calls with the king high, and then he spikes a 7 for the win, like in that big pot. Like, whatever, dude. Like, good luck to you, senor. All right, so king jack on the left, put in the steal. Do we min raise fold? It's getting close. We're definitely at the kind of stack depth where we want to start calling with hands like king jack, but I think in this setup we probably fold. And then ideally we would call a shove here on the left-hand side as well. So red, blue, that's how we're doing things. Okay. That's not a good flop. That's a good turn. Nice one. Yeah, okay, cool. We're on the same page, Tom. So we've raised pre-flop, definitely a C-bettable flop on the left. Might even end up sort of triple barreling there. And this is the kind of combination we might want to sneak in some of our larger ISOs. On the ace-high texture, we are going to start relatively small, and we'll proceed from there. All right, we're going for all of it, guys. Wish me luck. On the left. Wow. Okay. I would argue that was a fairly impressive call, albeit somewhat suicidal. Okay, nice hand, dude. Well played. I think that calling down with king high there is very problematic. Very, very problematic. But I like the line. We've obviously made a good bluff, and that's obviously going to win very often as a line. I mean, we can probably do that with king 10 if we wanted to be honest. So a little bit unusual, I'd say.
Actually, if only there was someone that was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
Thank you very much for the follow. Sorry guys, I gotta get my stuff up and open. Lots of moving parts when you're multi-tabling, huh? Well, obviously MTTs are a different, are a whole different kettle of fish. King high call, bro. That was a shocker. Daniel Peterson Poker, thank you very much for the follow. Dan Peterson Poker, I enjoy your content, man. Thank you very much for dropping us a follow today. Pleasure to have you here. Didn't bet flop, decides to start betting turn. Hello, Zhao, what's up? I really prefer the two-table setup on the stream. It flows better. Good, I'm glad you think so, dude. K Mars is asking, what are your hobbies outside of poker? Poker is obviously a big one for me. Oh man, this is probably getting very close to a call for the 50 bucks. We're gonna have so much equity in these situations when we're getting jammed on at the stack depth. Nice. I enjoy playing guitar. I really like audiobooks and reading in general, although I don't get a chance to read as much as I'd like anymore. Like music. I like heavy music. Well, I like all kinds of music, but I like heavy music in particular. All right, we controlled that pot nicely. Yeah, my name is Mike. Him having a king of spades, it's like, it makes it slightly less likely that we have a flush, but I don't think that's really particularly relevant. get the chips in good on the right-hand side. Limp calling with queen 10 of spades is approved. That's fair. And we'll get another table on the right in just a moment. Wow, getting blinded out here on the left. Absolutely no hands to play. 10-3 is good enough. We got to run something. Nice. Potentially back in the game. Seven bigs as a push feels fine. Daniel Peterson, you're welcome. Good luck with your session here. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, as they say, I've watched lots of your stuff before, dude. Thank you for clicking the follow button today. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you during Scoop, I imagine. I'm sure we'll see plenty of Daniel Peterson poker. I think this is the wrong one now. Don't know which is which. But yeah, so far so good, guys. The king eye call down is kind of that one's a bit of a shock to me. Like, I think there's lots of hero calls. I don't know if king eye with the king of spades is one of them though. Could be wrong. Yeah, Ezekiel. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think we played our hand really nicely. I think we do the same thing with, like, you know, kings, queens, jacks, tens. Sorry, A10. You know, pair tens. All of our ace combos. It's brave, and he gets it right. So, you know, fair play. But I don't know. I'm not really convinced on that one. That seems a little bit reckless. But, you know, credit where credit is due. So, of course, guys, we're going to track all of our results today. We will be showing, in fact, I haven't even shown a graph today. That's pretty unusual. This is just a flat. We are, of course, tracking all of our results in hand to note, so we'll have some graphs at the end of today's stream. Exactly, John. This one's still limp. Ace high for the win on the rights. Just a shove. Happy you like my content. Much appreciated. Yes, I've been preparing some weeks for Scoop. I'm just around the corner. It's just around the corner. Looking forward to streaming it all. I will definitely be tuning in, mate. And, of course, in the event that we see you on a final table, I'll be there as well. I'm doing final table replays all through the month of May and right up to the end of Scoop in June, early June. So we'll keep an eye out for you, dude. Let's sneak this one in as a tree bet bluff. Why do those never seem to work? This tilted fish guy, I feel like I recognize that name somewhere on the right, on the left-hand side. On the right here, we're going to be all in. Once he min raises off that stack, you know, you got to have to assume you're probably going to get a lot of action. Oh, that is a nice turn. All right, so back over here, guys, we are facing a lead. We're going to call with the fives with the 5 of hearts. And we do actually make the flush. Is it good enough to value bet? Probably not. Oh my god, he's got a fucking boat and checked it. Lose the minimum much. Lose the minimum much, my friend. We managed to turn 2 pair on the right. We're going to go ahead and just bet the 4. All done. This is a pretty good flop. We're deep stacked, which means I think we probably do want to have some check raising. We have action. The 8 on the turn, not ideal. Don't think we're allowed to barrel again. And if anything, we can check for deception purposes with the underboat. We're going to have the best hand a lot, obviously. I don't know if that's the size that he uses if he has an 8, though, to be honest. If you have an 8, aren't you jumping for joy to try and punish a 4 for a bigger size? Yeah. I think it's just a small bet to try and convince me to fold like a complete bluff. But again, I think we probably want to have a larger size to accomplish that goal as well. So, don't know. Sounds nice. Hopefully going to have some FTs. Well, hopefully for your content, hopefully even for my content. Also, Daniel, if you do end up having a really deep run or even a win, please get in touch with me about potentially coming on and doing commentary. We would love to have you. I just need to clear it with PokerStars first, but I imagine that would be fine if you're interested. I think it'd be really, really cool to have you on as a guest if you are going to feature. This is a good spot. Love getting check raised when we have the nuts. That feels really cool. Okay, so our opponent checks. I'm going to check again for deception, guys. When they check raise and slow down on this texture, I think there's a lot of bluffs. So we really want to give them the impression we have a 10 or, you know, a jack or something that still might fold. Also, they might still have an 8. That would be kind of fun. Yeah. Story checks out. It is a bit unusual for them not to continue barreling with Jack 10, but there we are. Nice hand for us. We check raise this flop, guys. We're going to go again on the turn. We're all in on the left-hand side here. And over here, guys, we check raise the flop. We bet the turn. I think we have the kind of hand that can go for all of it. Wish me luck. Oh, the triple barrel bluff. Lovely. I say triple barrel. Check raise. Barrel. Is that still triple barrel? I don't know. All right, we flop 2 pair on the left. We have a set of pair of 7s on the right, which we're going to check shove, of course. Definitely no need to not bet the flop here on the left. Oh, we get an ISO fold. That's cool. We're getting check raised over here. And under these circumstances, I actually think that we're supposed to put more chips in. Are we? I think we are. Okay, let's do that. Calling on the right-hand side with the best hands. And on the turn, we have a nice easy shove for less than pot, right? Interesting line from the Queen 5. We've done really well to get more chips in there on the right, and then obviously the turn is a pretty sweet spot for us. That was a really clean game on the right-hand side as well. Certainly feels like this game is going quite well. We've got a really nice Couple of flops going our way. The check raise 2-barrel is nice as well. Tom says, I like how smooth the video is now. Nick, 60p does make a difference in my... you know what, Tom? Actually didn't even think about it for a little while because, you know, I tend not to go back and watch my own stuff that often. But when we were doing the gaming, it felt really, really... Like there was such a difference to my eye, what I was seeing, and then what was going out. But I'm glad we're honing in on something, you know, a good setting. I think at some point I had a conversation with James Hardigan about frame rate, and he was saying about how, you know, 24/25 is obviously like more cinematic. That's like what they tend to use in Hollywood. And, you know, I hear the word cinematic and I think, you know, this is epic. This is like really good for like what I want to accomplish. But I think when you're doing streams, like more realistic is better. Like 60p is just going to be superior. So this guy's definitely a reg. We see an ISO. If we get bet here, we probably do want to continue. King 9 seems a little bit too high up in our range to want to fold on this texture. And then once we hit the 9, I think it becomes a little bit tricky to get away from our hand, if I'm honest. Please check. Okay. If he is checking, I actually think we're supposed to go for value. We can still get called by 7x, 9x. He can still have 8s. He can still have 6s. I don't think he's going to play an overpair like this, and I don't think he has a 10, and I don't think he has a set. So I think we actually have a value shove on the river now. But yeah, story checks out. Nice hand for us there. Thank you for the shout out, by the way. Guys, if you haven't checked out Daniel Peterson Poker, very, very successful poker player. We see a lot from Daniel on the high stakes streets on Stars. Of course, going under the name Starwins on PokerStars. All right, can we win this on the right? Ace-6 suited. Oh my god. How many times are we going to have this, guys? This is so ugly. How many times are we going to get somebody down to sub 10 and they're going to shove Ace-King into, like, you know, a suited ace? Gross. All right, cool. Two very nice games, guys. We take both those down. Let's get some more action on the go. This feels like quite a nice pace to me, guys. I'm enjoying this. I think that this is a like flat out two tabling. Flat out two tabling feels like it's just inherently fast for stream and conversational, you know, kind of content. However, going at our own pace and just like regging when we're ready and like finishing tables when we're heads up and stuff just feels like this does feel more smooth. I agree with that feedback, you know, in terms of like stream pacing. So right table is red, R for red. It also looks better for the video audio lag I usually see. Okay, that's interesting as well. I wonder if that did have something to do with it. Okay, we're gonna do this. It's very unbalanced, but it looks super scary. And then once we arrive here, we're gonna go like this. Wish me luck, guys. Well, it's pretty hard when they have aces, isn't it? Blockers aren't real, guys. Confirmed blockers aren't real. Thank you so much for the offer, Nick. I assume it would have to be the day when I don't play during skip. So no, the way it works, Dan, is I do final table replays that have completed the evening before. So let's say that you made a final table on a Monday. I would show that final table on Tuesday afternoon around 2 p.m. UK, and we would be done within 3 hours or whatever it is. So it's well before all of that evening's poker begins. So if we go live at 2, we'll be done by 5ish, and then presumably you can start your session unless that overlaps with your session. It usually doesn't. In the past, I've had members of Team Pro who won events during WCOOP join for 2 p.m. and it didn't seem to overlap. But let me know if that's something you're interested in. I obviously still need to get permission from Stars because it's their channel, but I imagine getting Star Wins on stream would be something we'd be interested in. Something I'm interested in, at least. Running ace deuce into aces, huh? Sure. I did go really off piece there pre-flop, to be honest, so I probably deserved it. Man, super reggy recently, isn't it, guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure Tilted Fish is a reg as well, so this is not looking like a great timing. Lighter Maximo, thank you very much for the good lucks. Okay, let's try and open. Restream. All right, we managed to make a top pair. We are not going to be folding. Let's try and get a feel for where our opponent is here. Yeah, I don't know. Chelik is so aggressive. They're going to triple barrel bluff here on the left a lot. I'm going to really struggle to fold this on the river, guys. I'm not going to lie. If they have king queen with the queen of clubs, king queen with the king of clubs, queen jack with the jack of clubs, it's just like such an easy triple barrel. I don't know. Don't know if we can fold against a reg. Wish me luck. Dreams. Dreamy. I mean, it's hard enough to fold top pair in the first place. If this is a complete random and they triple in that spot with those sizings, yeah. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You're winning. You're gonna have a good time. Where's the information on here? Okay, all right, let's focus on the other games. We can only do what we can do, guys. The issue is if I'm Chelik and I'm in that spot, I'm triple barreling so hard so often. I mean, I'm like describing hands that even have like good sort of blocker capabilities, but like you can do it with no hands. You can barrel off with no hand there, no problem. Ace king into ace king, kind of boring. All right, we do have another table over here, guys. Just the 3x in blue on the left.
Actually, if
Okay,
only there was someone that was was an expert at sub 25.
What's up,
big
Mac?
blind,
Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. I've got to
Sound
change
like
where this is. There we go. That's better. That's better. We're calling over here on the right. On the left, we're going to call down again with the king 6. Oh, we managed to turn 2 pair. That's nice. So the cool thing about the spot on the left is it's not dissimilar from the ace high spot we saw just now where our opponent is going to bluff really aggressively. But this one is also a spot where we want to play our hand in exactly the same fashion. So call the turn, and then we're just going to try and trap the river again as well. Yeah. Nice. That time the cold deck works in our favor. We shoved queen 6 for about 6 big blinds here. Blind view blind, fairly standard push fold stuff. Shoving a6 now into Chelik, who's very short stacked. Does have to call quite a wide range here. Okay. How's it going, Mac? Yeah, Jack 6 is a call here. Wish me luck, guys. It's just too few big blinds to not want to get it in with Jack 6. It's actually in there within that realm by a fair margin. Ace Jack on the right, we're going to shove. On the left, if we're going to check queen high, we actually have to call the lead because our opponents will just end up having flush draws and straight draws a little bit too often. So queen high on the left-hand side here actually ends up being not a ridiculous hero call, right? Our opponents will have 6-8. They'll have missed hearts. 4. They'll have 3-4. Nice hand. They will have the boats, of course, as well. The only thing that might deter us from calling in that spot is feeling like the 2 big blind sizing is a little bit more value heavy, but I think it's probably still okay in general. Ace Jack against King Jack on the right here, taking a bad beat. I think you guys might have seen that one. But on the right-hand side there, we got it in good, but lost our all-in as per usual. Right means red. Getting check raised on this texture, man. Whoa. Technically speaking, I think we probably are going to want to call that. I don't know. On that particular texture, though, maybe not as often. El Gordo Easy, ¿cómo estás? How's it going? All right, 2 tables again. Yo, level 24, what's up? Just chilling, gotta head to work in an hour or so. Might get a few games myself. Well, best of luck if you do decide to play. Yeah, so we're not folding the flop, but the fact he goes half pot makes this pretty annoying. And the ace on the turn just feels a lot like open season for him to go nuts, which means we kind of have to fold. Annoying spots. Yo, J-Man, what's up? So J-Man, this year so far, I didn't check it this morning, but I think we have a chippy V of around 48s at the 25s. It's been a while since I looked at the bigger graph, but I can take a look in a sec. Let me pull it up for you 1 sec. So if I filter for this year specifically, we currently have a chippy V of 46 chips per game. Over a relatively small sample, 512 tournaments played this year so far, so still room to go. All right, wish me luck, guys, on the right. Just going nuts with a flush draw, fair play. Ace-9 suited, successful on the left. And 8-6. Let me do some more filtering here for you. One sec. So if we filter from, if we turn off this here, overall chip EV of 50 chips, but that will be a mix of lots of different stakes. So that will be chip EV of 50 will include lower stakes that we played in previous years as well. So not 100% accurate regarding 25 big blinds, 25 buy-in in 2025. I think probably our actual true chip EV at this stake, our true chip EV at the 25s in 2025 probably isn't as high as that, just because the games are a lot tougher. So if I filter for this year again, probably closer to a 40 chip EV if we play more volume, which is what we're setting out to do. We're going to start two-tabling on stream now. This is the first time we've trialed doing the flip-flop sort of 3-1-2-3 view for spins, but this is in preparation for a spin and go challenge that I'm going to start in the next couple months. All right, next game. Sorry, over here, guys, as I'm on the wrong scene. Table 2. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Here we go. Right is red. This one's interesting. On the left, I'm trying to figure out what exactly he thinks he's leading with. I think he's going to bluff here a lot, so I'm just going to find a float. And if he checks, we're going to just stab. Okay, when he does that, I think it actually becomes more Queen X or 3X or diamonds. So I actually think what we're going to do instead is something like this. Yeah, and then we're going to go for all of it. There's a chance he's trapping us with an ace or a queen, but it seems unlikely. I don't think that's how people tend to play these combinations. Just the no equity float on 2 streets feels good. We got another table on the right here in red. Double Buddha, thank you for the good lucks. The double float ship river is something to behold. You could do 10 and 25 if you wanted to have a sweat on 2 different stakes. I don't really want to split stakes, Tom, because like for the sake of the challenge, I think it's really confusing and it's difficult to convey in short form that like we potentially could have a positive ROI but have negative dollar results. Like that's just too confusing for randoms who don't follow poker. Yeah, we're not folding the flop. We're not folding the flop, bro. We've got like kind of a weird double gut shot on the left, which I'm a fan of. Do we just rip 7, 8, 9, 10 jack, 9, 10 jack, queen, king? I think we do this. Wish me luck, guys. Nice. Beautiful. That's a bit more like it. No, I think what we want to do, Tom, is keep it at 1 stake so it's easier math for people to sort of understand when we're doing the challenge. Okay, when he bets that big, we can just fold the flop, I think. You know, like, you could say, like, oh, well, in that case, Nick, I would just always bet bigger against you, but, like, when you have bluffs at that size, I think it becomes very difficult to make them profitable. We can just shove Jack 8 here. I think against this guy, we are going to do it on the left. And then on the right, we're going to go ahead and do something sneaky with the Queen 7. We're going to start nice and small on the flop. Beautiful, no sweat. And this is a call. This guy does seem to be aggressive enough for the King 4 to be the correct call as well. You know, he's shoving significantly less than the requirement for Nash call there, so it seems fine. Gonna trap with ace jack suited. Would love to see a shove here on the left. Ugh, terrible flop. Good turn. Getting check raised against the unknown. I think we're probably just going to fold king 9 on the right. Getting check raised to this size as well. I feel like versus reg we have to probably continue with the king highs and the ace highs there because they will have more bluffs. But against the unknown, they're just not going to have enough. Also used a portion to go to the PSPC because Nick said he would never talk to me again. Aces on the left feels good. All right, cool. Let's get it. I have thoughts on this, by the way, guys. I have thoughts on this. So he shoves ace 10. We call with aces. Beautiful spot. Just a cold deck. Our opponent is doing absolutely nothing wrong, in my opinion. Well, no. Doing nothing wrong, full stop. It's not my opinion. That's just science. That's just math, right? However, when you do actually play two tables, like yesterday, how many times did we get cold decked? How many times were we just like super unlucky with the runouts, super unlucky with the all-ins? We're rivering trips and they have a flush. Just two tabling in this session alone, yeah, we've seen a couple unlucky spots where we've run into big hands, but then we've also had our fair share. Like just adding that one extra table, you do start to have see enough volume where you go, all right, I'm not that mad about it because we did the same thing to somebody just now. So the king 6 spot where he had king jack, it's kind of like the ace high board in the previous situation, right? We had ace deuce, our opponent triples off, we called down, he had ace 8, he rivered 2 pair, but he also had a better kicker in the first place, right? We flop top pair, our opponent has us out kicked, we turn 2 pair, they barrel down, we call down, we got lucky. Even just adding this one extra table starts to feel way more equitable because you actually feel like you're getting the same opportunities, you know, as often as perhaps your opponents. All right, so really quick, let's catch up on the chat here. Gumskull says, what do you think about $5 spins? I'm making a 50 chip EV and seems crazy. I think I'm jumping to 10 to avoid the 1M, the 1 million. Okay, so Gum, I feel fine about the fives. The one thing that I would say, however, is if you have a 50 chip EV at the fives, you probably want to work on your game before you go to higher stakes. At the fives, your chip EV should probably be like 50% higher than that, like maybe like heading towards the 75s or higher. Remember also at the lower stakes that you do actually pay more rakes, so you immediately need to win more chips per game in order to become greater than break even as a player pre-rake back. Rui is saying, are you planning the release of a spin and go course after the challenge, Nick? It's not a bad idea. I've always wanted to do a spin and go course properly, like a proper masterclass. I've never sat down and found the time to do it though. Oh, I don't know why he's betting small in this turn. I don't think I'm folding yet. Diamonds are annoying, but we are going to bluff. If he's not going to bet, we're going to bluff. Because this strikes me as a spot where if you are going to check raise with a flush draw or a straight, you probably bet bigger on the turn and you definitely don't miss the bet on the river, right? Woo. All right, that works. So, Rui, I would like to do that. The thing is, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and whenever I sit down to make any kind of content like that, I obsess about it to the point where it takes me way longer than it needs to. But I do want it to be really good because it will be a big piece of content. If you haven't seen already, Rui, I do have pre-flop material that I sell on my website, which is what I use while I'm playing in spins. Like that's what I study from. That is what I study from in the day-to-day, along with other tools, of course. But if you're looking for material from me that I think is really good, you can check that out on the website. That's nickwalshtv.com. So you can give that a look if you'd like. All right, let's get another table going. Nice. Red on the right, blue on the left. Oh, I forgot to update this one, I guess. What's this guy's note? Did not ISO ace 10 suited, heads up, 25 effective. Good to know. Good to know. So he's checked behind pre-flop and he's full potting on ace 8-9. We do have a note that he didn't ISO ace 10 suited before. There you go. Story checks out. Story checks out. We read the notes and then ignore them. Good job, Nick. Oh, sorry, guys. I keep meaning to do that. There you go. The thing is, if I update this one, it seems to update all of them. It's really weird. It's like it kind of loads from the previous one. All right, I'm enjoying this, guys. I think this works. The split between the three is nice. I need to use the zoom a little bit more though. I think we're staying in the two split a little bit more often than we want to be. Pocket kings on the right. All right, pretty boring. Ace jack suited over here. We're going to sneak in as a trap. Nice flop. Any action? No action. Pair of fours any good? So checks all the way to the river and now wants to bet 2. Okay, so basically this guy just does not rep any hands. That's something where you need to be aware of. Seems like a pretty good squeeze shove. Okay, we need to make a note about this. All right, can we make a flush or straight? Cool bluff. Level 24 says I'm liking the extra table vibes. Sweet. That makes me happy. So we're not a million miles behind here, guys. So what's interesting, against these super passive player types, we still want to be limping super wide in position. Because if they're not going to represent their hands, they're going to let us play pretty much every pot in position without contest, which is super important. Please don't have quads. Nice, got him. We have a diamond draw on the right. Now we have a 7. Ah! What is this run out, dude? Computer says no. My inner demon is screaming at me to just let that one go. Huh. Can we turn our hand into a bluff? Against the guy that doesn't rep anything? Never. Okay, this is just a fold. Gotta listen to our notes. We've got to internalize the notes here, guys. We're not folding the flop. We're not folding the flop, guys. Wish me luck. Right, let me get this straight. You put a third of your stack in pre-flop with ace-3 offsuit. Fucking domination, rotation. Oh, man, honestly, just not ideal, is it, guys? Actually, just no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's not good. Oh. Oh my god, that's really annoying. We actually deviate to exploit this player, and they just flop it on 8-8-3 with ace-3. Like, get out of my life, dude. Get out of my life, mate. Trapping jacks. This is where they haven't raised an ace again, right? We're gonna play our hand like we have the nuts. Don't you worry, guys. We're gonna play our hand like we got the nuts. We're playing our hand like we got the nuts. We're playing our hand like we have the nuts. And if they have a random ace, good luck to them. Why are you limping this shallow? No, you don't get a dime. You don't get a dime. Jack Deuce is not a limp at that stacked up, by the way, guys. Against this player, though, we're going to try and find more of those. Like I said, we have a very specific plan. What? How many cold decks can one endure in a single session, huh? Hey, Croaks, how's it going, buddy? Oh, my God. Honestly, guys, we actually destroy these players, and then they get to 8 big blinds, and they're all in, and they have ace-king, and we have ace-9 suited, and they just have the best hand. Or, like, we get them down to 4 big blinds, and they give us top pair, and they have, like, trapped kings. It's just lame. Base Logic, what's up? Howdy, Nick. Best wishes for the upcoming challenges. Thank you, sir. How are you doing today? How are you doing today, mates? Yeah, Croak, so the new controller is on the way. I think it's arriving tomorrow. And then I will be trying with the controller. Oh. Parcel is due for delivery. Okay, well, keep an eye out for that then. All right, sneaky limp. We can delayed c-bet this one if we want. If they do that, we're just going to fold. Chomi, poker is alive, apparently. Poker's alive and well. Oh, my fucking Christ. 6 big blinds. Ace-5. 100% shove. Oh, they have ace-10. All right, GG, yeah. Nice game. Good game, good game. All right, so more tables required. No, Aaron, I've not seen that. I have not, I'm afraid. Oh, this is right. This isn't right. We're gonna do this one over here. This one over here. Thing is, the day I decided to try all the two tabling is when I've got like 3 deliveries on the way. So this bell is gonna go, and I'm gonna be in the middle of 2 heads-up matches or something. No, it arrives tomorrow, Crooks. I ordered it last night when I text you. Cause like, I think doing the screen hack it's funny, and it's a good way to actually like dial in how you want to, like where you want to aim. But obviously, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating in a game. It just doesn't feel like as much fun. The cool thing about the Evo swing that I've realized as well is there's a lot about the Evo swing that is like real golf. And real golf is about, you know, you line it up, what's the wind, what's the lie, which club do I need, and then also you can scuff it at the end, right? Like without the jeopardy of being able to completely scuff a shot like that, it doesn't feel like the real thing. Oh, just gonna jam on poor old Nick. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, pocket tens. Ooh, hello. Flopping sets is fun. No action, huh? Yeah, checking that flop seems pretty ugly, though, to be fair.
Actually,
Ace is
if
over
only
here.
there
Thank you
was
very much for
someone
the
that
follow.
Was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
That was Davidi. How's it going?
That's your voice.
How's it going, my friends? We got action with the aces. The 5 actually should be a relatively good card. They will have trip 5s once in a while, I suppose, but you know, it is what it is. They're supposed to do the same thing here if they have a draw. Ace. Nice. Over here, guys, we are 2-barreling with the 5 tray. We have river to very good hand. So what we did was we raised pre-flop to 3 big blinds. We barreled flop. We barreled when we picked up the gut shot. And now that we're on the river, we're of course all in. And it feels fantastic to get lucky, baby. Let's go. All right, over here on the left, guys, we just called in the big blind with ace-6 versus the 1 big blind steal. And we're definitely going to call the flop. And we've limped intentionally here on the right-hand side to shove. We want to back jam. So we wanted him to put in 2 big blinds, and now we can back jam. This is actually a really sly move, but it will give you a significantly bigger edge. Because now there's an additional 2 big blinds dead in that pot that shouldn't have been, and that's a huge, huge, huge increase in the value of that one single exchange. So recognizing your opponent has enough to shove that will actually reactivate the betting. Carlito calls and then we ship over the top. It's magic. It's absolute magic. It's literal magico. It's literal magico. The nice thing about Evo is the win bias. Sorry, not win bias. Yeah, the draw or the fade thing. So when you go up, so what I realized is once you go up to pro mode or whatever, you obviously need to specifically hit those targets. So you can't cheese it at the top there, like when you're playing in the highest levels. But obviously, I want to get to the point where I'm playing at like a somewhat competitive level. I don't intend on going pro anytime soon, but we can probably bet this turn for value. I think that's probably fine. Davide says, how does spinning goes on differ from stars to GG? So if I'm not mistaken, somebody else will have to actually help, and like maybe Croaks can assist here because I know he's seen those. I've actually never played the version of spins that are on GG, but if I understand correctly, you start with fewer big blinds at the lower levels, so it's slightly more speedy. And I don't think the structure is the same, but I could be wrong. Maybe somebody who's played them before can assist. Oh, we have Ace King, and we are all in over here, guys. The tramp of the century. And the chip's going against Ace Jack. I like the way Ace Jack is played here, though. This is fine. Having the larger ISO size is definitely part of a good strategy. You do want to have a third stack ISO with some of your better offsuit aces. And just the shove for the ace-5. Curtis Lambert says, no, Nick not on form today. Ace is never flat on that river. The no drinking is fighting his game. You're absolutely right. Actually, I was in the middle of a sentence, and I realized that we probably should have shoved river against that size. You're absolutely spot on. Welcome, Mr. Curtis. I did actually have 2 wines yesterday, though, to be fair, because the no drinking bet hasn't kicked in just yet. Is check raising here really viable? If it's not viable, then I probably don't want to play this one. If you're in a horrible lie, the shot meter would be quite tilted. Right, exactly. That's what I understand as well. I watched a few YouTube's Croaks. I watched some like beginners tips, and I feel like I got a better feel for some of the different bits and bobs. I did the training on the different shot types. I watched a video apparently also. This guy said that there's a shot, I think it's called a spinner. There was a shot type called a spinner, and he said that he did loads of extensive training, and that the spinner shot, for whatever reason, like doesn't seem affected by wind at all. There's something specific about that shot that means you don't have to adjust as much for the wind. It seems to just go where it's supposed to go. So I need to check that out, but I don't know what kind of shot it is because I haven't unlocked it yet. Crook says, pretty sure GG Poker spin starting stacks and the level length are based on multiplier. 2 and 3x will be flash, and then 5x or 20. That's my understanding of it as well. In my opinion, basically, PokerStars spins are just going to be superior, full stop. And that's not because I'm a PokerStars ambassador. That's just because I've been playing spins for my whole life. I would say the same thing about spinning goes on stars versus microgaming as well, if that's still a thing. They used to have a game on microgaming called Fish Party. And it was basically spins, but with antes, and it was so bad. Like, spinning goes are already hyper. As soon as you add antes, like the actual ranges are so broken. Like, you just have to punt incredibly hard. They're very, very low skill. In a game that already has razor thin edges, adding antes to a short stacked hyper doesn't make any sense to me. The better question is, why is Kurt watching on YouTube? I know. 2 wines, you son of a bitch. It wasn't my fault. It was Ruth's fault. We were watching the football, to be fair. But today's the 30th. Tomorrow is the 1st. And tomorrow, the no drinking bet begins. John's going to do dry May as well. Good. Curtis is in. He's already agreed to it. He's already agreed to it, whether he likes it or not. Do you think the GG format is better for Rex or still an edge to make a good profit? I personally can't comment because I simply don't know. Davidi, I've literally never played on GG. Around the same time that GG was becoming a larger entity, I was already a PokerStars ambassador, and I was already under contract at that point. A mega pint? No, they were actually 2 very reasonably sized pints. What is going on in this game? Give me something to gamble with, please. Go on, call with Jack 10. I'm pretty sure Finton was watching videos on putting the night before. So I found a guy who does some tutorials, and it's nothing like groundbreaking, but I definitely have a much better feel for it now. All right, come on now. Ace. What's up, Duke? Hi, Nick. Became a recent fan because of the PokerStars casting. Keep it up. Thank you, Duke. I really appreciate it. Welcome to my channel, my little new venture. Let me know if you need any help or you got any questions or anything like that. We are just playing spins today, but I don't know if it's too soon to say anything. However, I feel like the triple screen is good. I feel like this is nice, and I actually feel like I'm putting in like a bit of a sesh, you know. We'll take a look at some results shortly, guys, but I think so far so good. There was 2 spots today that were probably pretty ugly for EV, but that was ace deuce into aces when we were bluffing, and then the ace deuce on an ace high board against ace 8 that rivered 2 pair. So really probably nothing to be concerned about long term. Sorry guys. I wish I could automatically target specific windows, but I think that's a bit complicated. Canuckstan says, so you're getting loaded tonight. No, not getting loaded. I really want to start on the first feeling good. I've already started like my regime over the last couple days. Ruth can confirm. Yeah, so tonight will be our last drink because me and Ruthie have something booked. It's like a VR cocktail experience. All right, can we get any action with queens on the right? Please. Okay, we got some action. Still want to check. Okay, just check over here. We're going to go ahead and bet 1. Keep it nice and balanced. On the left-hand side here, King Jacks can just get to showdown, it seems. Our opponent stole and then checked. Do they have the same hand? Okay, that's cool. On the right, we're getting action with the queens. We're allowed to size up turn now. Let's go for 4. And that should be a very good river most of the time. This should actually be a really, really good run out for us. And shoving seems good. This guy is such a non-believer, right? All right, wish me luck, guys. The non-believer. So tonight we go big. On YouTube as I can be artist open switch. Gumskull says, what was your biggest downswing or upswing in buy-ins? Is it possible to swing 100 big blinds? So I think you mean 100 buy-ins. The worst that I ever had, I think, was 150 or 200 buy-ins. That was the worst swing that I've ever encountered. This one feels like a fold on the right, but I'm not sure. Most spin and go players, if you're playing a reasonable amount of volume, will encounter at least a 100 buy-in downswing in their lifetime. That's pretty standard, but that's why we have bigger bankrolls in general, right? That's specifically why we have bankrolls of the size that we have. If you're playing a lot of volume, like, you don't tend to notice that as much because obviously you're grinding towards... This is the fucking non-believer. All right, I'm done with that hand on the left. On the turn now. This feels like how we bluff. And again, should be a pretty reasonable run out for us to just triple off. Oh shit, that was bad. Missed a spot on the left. We're gonna shove the trays, but we were talking, so we missed the spot to shove them. possibly a blessing in disguise. So yeah, you know, I think the worst downswings you encounter are like around 100, 150, maybe 2. But for the most part, that's not how it is. For the most part, if you're playing volume, you don't really notice anyway because you're just too busy blasting through games. You know what I mean? On the left-hand side, we're calling, guys. This should be a good spot for us usually. And yep, nice little runouts for the double. Over here, we might actually commit to the... I might actually commit to the repping the 7 spot. We did lead the turn. Woo! All right. Yeah, like Curtis said, it happens a lot. It's not crazy for a player to encounter. I would say, you know, over the course of a day, 20, 30 buy-ins, you know, up and down. And then obviously when you hit big multipliers, you know, you're going to upswing pretty substantially. The thing about spins is like when you're on a heater, you're winning like good amounts from the multipliers. However, when you're downswinging, it's just a drag, but you're only losing 1 buy-in at a time, right? Getting check raised, not folding. Can we get lucky? Oh my god, we got lucky. Ace-8, definitely a push here, guys. We're not going to change how we play that hand. Okay, we can fold the turn. All right, let's focus on this game quick. Yeah, about 200 is what I suggest comes call. If you're playing lower stakes and you have a really big edge, like if you're playing 5s or 10s and you have a significantly bigger edge than at higher stakes, 100 buy-ins seems fine. That seems like a very reasonable bankroll. But you won't swing as much and you won't have as much variance when you have a bigger edge at those stakes. Generally speaking, the higher your chip EV, the less variability there is in the actual variance itself. I always want around 200, however, because playing spins, you need to be very consistent. You need to have a good mindset. If you're the kind of person that checks their bank balance, checks their bankroll often, if you see that you've swung 50 buy-ins of your 100, it's going to affect you, and you're not going to play as well, and then you're probably not going to be able to dig yourself out of the doldrums. Duke says, since you offered, I've been looking to get into poker recreationally and not be completely bad. I got an advice to read Harrington, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing on PokerStars for fake money, just to dip with no risk. Any quick advice? So Duke, look, Harrington on Hold'em is a classic piece of poker literature. I think we're calling this river, guys. How can we possibly fold? Yeah, feels good. And by all means, finish it, enjoy it. It's a good book. It is very, 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 very out of date. I think it's completely fair to say that Harrington on Hold'em is a very out of date book. If you want to, after you're done with that, I tell you what, join the Discord or drop me a message on Instagram. When you're done with that book, get in touch with me and I'll suggest some other material that you can get into if you want to improve your poker in a more modern era. Trap with the ace-9 suited. This is a good spot. Lovely. That was a good game. I don't know when the cards up replays will end for a scoop, but if it carries into Dune, it should do, yeah. I could see Nick having a Bloody Mary on stream to celebrate. True. True. I mean, at that point, we would have put in some serious hours. Like, in May, we're doing the no drinking bet. I'm back on the health grind with my morning routine, breath work, sunlight exposure, cold exposure. I'm going to do my supplements and stuff in the morning as well, which I've already kicked off. I feel like in May, we're going to do all of that. We're going to do our daily scoop stuff. And then we're also probably going to end up playing a lot of scoop events every evening. So it's going to be flat out. Like I'm going to be probably I'm probably gonna be streaming from 2 till 5 every day, or 2 till 6, and then probably playing from 6 till midnight most days. So it's gonna be an intense month, but obviously if you're gonna be putting in those hours, like having a good healthy routine is also gonna be really good. And at the end of it, maybe champagne is more appropriate for the end of it. Sigma, yeah, we're up to 60 frames per second. I didn't even realize that I had them adjusted down, but everything should be a lot smoother now. We're going out at 1080p 60. Everyone says it's a lot nicer too. That's what I heard too, but apparently is it still a good baseline? So Duke, it's gonna have some good ideas, but also that book was written before GTO, and that is gonna be a big, you know, I think GTO is the true baseline in terms of, you know, strategy, but there's a lot that's going to be in there that's going to be good, like sort of on a philosophical level. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there that's just outright still good, but a lot of those books written during that time were written from a point of experience. So people that were successful in poker before, you know, the advent of the technology that we use now, and that's basically coming from their perspective. That's kind of their strategy, their system, as it were, their thought process, which is still a value. Absolutely nothing against Mr. Harrington, but now in order to learn what you're doing pre-flop, we have much better indicators of what the baseline looks like based on math, as opposed to just, you know, the experience of players that were playing before then. So I would still read it, finish it when you're done, get in touch, join the community, and we will give you some more information. There's so many amazing online tools that are really good for drilling that stuff as well. So, you know. Modern Poker Theory is the title of one of the best books for ages. Yes. So Modern Poker Theory is one of the ones I always suggest. That was by a player called Michael Acevedo, and he breaks down what is GTO, how it's calculated, and then also even goes on to give you much more practical examples of how it's applicable for building a strategy. It's very good. I haven't even completed it all the way through because it is quite a heavy read. It is a bit dense for a beginner, though, Bala. You're right. Absolutely agree. All right, let's get some more tables going. I'm interested to see how many tables I get on average as well. If we're two tabling on stream, I mean, Tom, you probably have an idea. Like, how many do we usually play for one tabling? Like 20? You know what? Boom. I'll take it. I'll take it. Winning flips is easy. Fuck. Winning flips is easy. This player is about to become my new nemesis. This player is about to become my new nemesis. You know, some guys just can't hold their arsenic. Super theory intensive. I recommend Dara O'Kearney for a softer. That's a great suggestion, actually. Dara O'Kearney has written a lot of very, very good. I don't want to say it's all beginner material because it's not, but he has written it in a much more approachable way. The mathematics of poker and modern poker theory are dense. Like the first couple chapters, you're like, I mean, he's literally showing you how to calculate like long form calculate GTO like equilibrium. Which and then like you get to chapter 4 or something, and he's like, but you don't really need to know any of that. That's not important. And you're like, okay, cool. Thank you for the lesson at least. All right, gang. We're gonna put in a little tree bed here. If we get shoved on, we're gonna call. Wish me luck, guys. Here we go. Easy game. Easy game. Easy game. He had it coming. He had it coming. All right. This is definitely a call on the left-hand side versus the min ISO. Snap checks the flop. That's interesting. We're going to bet 2 on the turn on the right. Fold the left. Yeah, it's probably an average of around 20. So if we could get like 30 or 40 games in every session for the it'll be more than that though as well, because when you two table you get to like play in the overlaps. Um Definitely afloat. Can have a little lead on this turn now as well. And then we are going to absolutely bomb river here. Wish me luck, guys. We are repping the flush. Oh my god, where does he get it from? King high for the win on the right. King high for the win. Yeah, baby, let's go. Doyle is rolling in his grave. You'd always do 10 10s and 10 25s for the... That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so if we could get 30 or 40 games every session on stream, I think that means we probably will get away with... I think that usually means that what we'll do is we'll get away with... we'll get away with doing almost all of the streaming we have to do online. Sorry, like all of the challenge can be streamed is what I'm trying to say. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much. Peace and love. It's a pleasure to have you here, buddy. I love you very much. Thank you to everyone for the follows, which I would love to get from you guys if you're joining me for the first time. How you guys doing? My name is Nick. You're at NickWalshTV.com. We're playing spins all day today. Hope you guys will stick with us. Let me know if you got any questions in the chat. We're two tabling with a new system today, guys. We have Zoom, blue table, red table, two table. And we're trialing this because I'm going to take I'm going to do a spin and go challenge shortly. And I wanted a way to try and put in a bit more volume, but without missing out on all that sweet close-up action. I am not folding the flop. I am not folding the turn. Might fold the river.
Actually, if only there was someone that was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
That's what you sound like.
Might fold the river. Yeah. Why are you 3xing all of a sudden? Yeah, shout out to Peace and Love, guys. Go and check out Seb's channel if you haven't seen it already. Where have you been? Putting in a lot of time online, playing a ton of tournaments, doing some fun challenges of his own. Pocket Queens is a good hand, guys. Svinekill, welcome back. Good to see you. Queens are good? Queens are good. All right, Pocket Seven's also good here on the left. Oh my God. What? What? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is this guy feeling okay? I'm not. Actually, I need to see if this works, guys. One sec. Stream. What is he doing? Oh my God, it's really, really bad. See if this works, guys. Right. So let me get this straight. Sorry, guys. One second. So start the hand. 18 big blinds effective. Min raise, shove, call, jack, deuce, diamonds. All right, buddy. Just best of luck. Best of luck to you. Welcome, Swine Kill. Good to have you here. Henry Beckett, what's up? You hit 300x $25 binds this month and you lost all of it. Henry, sort your life out. Jameson is asking, how much Adderall do you take in a day? I have literally never taken Adderall before. People have said that there is a chance I have ADHD. So there's a chance it might be appropriate for me, but I've never done it before. And actually, when you're two-tabling spinning goes, there's not really much chemical assistance required. It's not exactly lightning if you play poker. All right. Anyway, two very good games. Pocket sevens against Jack Deuce of Diamonds. That requires a label because that is bad. Definitely a punt, to say the least. All right, next game. Let's keep it going. We'll take a look at some results at the end of today's stream, guys. I think so far so good. I think we're actually putting in a very good little shift here. And I do think that the two-tabling does have a tendency to keep the focus.
Was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
Keep the focus pumping.
That's what you sound like. That's your voice.
Sorry, guys. That's two of the same table. Different table now. There we go. And this is red and this is blue. Fold. Colt Guy asked the same question. I'm assuming Colt Guy is also Jameson on the other channel. I've already answered the question. There's a 60, 100 second delay. Hop Kizzle, what's up? First time chatter, but not first in our hearts. I'm gonna raise versus limp here. You know, I wonder if there's also something to do with, like, the fact that we're two-tabling, we seem to be getting a better mix of recreationals as well. It is getting a bit later in the day, which helps, but I wonder if having the two tables going also means we manage to get more random matches rather than always end up with regs. Nice. Good little bluff there. It's because the table isn't blue or red. This is a push. Book says Jack Deuce suited is fine. It definitely does not. Definitely does not. It does not. Jack 5 is the nuts. You guys know that, right? We're actually going to value that Jack 5 on the left. Chat Pro Poker Show, only 15 entrants so far. Please check it out, guys. Don't miss your opportunity. There's only a 500 player cap. If Bellows double barrels, probably do call again. Oh, how could we possibly be losing? We aren't. Oh, what? Why is this a $5 spin? Oh, no. That also would make sense that we're seeing more recreationals. We're going to call on the left here, guys. Wish me luck. Okay. We accidentally regged a $5 spin. All right, all counts. It's all money. Henry Beckett, I hope you run better in your bigger multiplier soon. 300 X's is a lot of 100 X's as well. All right, so let's finish up the 5, and then we'll fire some more 25s. In fact, fuck that. Let's just play a 25 now. Why wait? Why wait when we can play now? Dante in the chat, what's up? So technically we call against the unknowns at the 5s we can fold here. It's already a pretty close call for the Queen 9 anyway from a Nash perspective. We have a proper 25 on the left at least. Right. Poker, 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 poker. Let's play poker. We get in against ace deuce over here, which is nice. Pretty good turn. All right, so heads up at about 9 big blinds effective. Against the unknown, we'll just trap here. We make top pair. It's a bit precarious. If the chips go in here, we don't feel great about it. This feels nasty. Probably just got to put it in though. Wish me luck, guys. Nice. That is a very good outcome for that spot. I know it's almost time for the sun to come out, Dante. Do I have table sound muted? I don't think so. Well, it's not. It's that stars audio should be coming through. Oh, it's just really quiet. No, it should be coming through. I think it's just really quiet, and I think it only works when I'm actually focused on a table. King queen any good? No dice on the right. If you win this 10, it could be the crazy time bankroll. Well, I guess it's not working out so far. Get out of my life. Double gut shot here on the left. If we bet small, we can call a check raise, so I think I quite like that at this stack depth. The turn can be a bet. I think we can also check. And then we go for value. It just feels like we're on the wrong side of those so often, guys. Man. He somehow has 8-7 of hearts. We somehow both flop a straight draw. And we somehow both make a straight when the river is a flush. Sure. Story checks out. Yeah, do not have the words. All right, one sec, guys. There's quite a lot of glare now. Whew. All right. Reset. Really, really annoying spots. Well, that's an annoying run out. That is an annoying run out indeed. 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 Wrong one. There we go. All right, next game. We're playing 25s, not 5s. Poker is a game responsible for the majority of blood pressure medication sales. Nope, all good. Not worried. Can we get action with aces? Never. No, Tom. And actually, I don't know if we're going to do it as often because the existing reward structure is actually already really good. The existing reward structure is already fairly spicy if you're doing it right. I'm sure they will have them intermittently, though. You're Crazy was censored? What? Was it? All right, King 9. Really fucking annoying. We've done the right thing anyway. Same again here. Shit. To be fair, TH definitely is a reg of some variety. That guy just called a huge shove for a chop, which we know, chat, is not what you want to do. I think that probably already immediately means they need to tag because that seems like a suicidal amount of chips to put in the middle at this stage in the tournament to hopefully have a chop. We lose a flip as usual. Good spot for the ace-4 of hearts. Yeah, that is a... Calling a 30 big blind shove on the river to hopefully find a chop is very, 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 very minus EV. You are going to really struggle to make that one work. GG Gameface says, I feel bad. I feel like the past couple of days watching Nick, he runs absolutely atrocious. Like I have it up to this point, this past month. Is it me, chat? I don't think it's you, buddy. Don't think it's you. I might bluff the river. No, it doesn't feel right. Queen 9 of hearts. Just majestic, beautiful flop there. Calling 30 big blinds to hopefully have a chop and then just win a flip for the tournament. Like, come on, bro. You are breaking my heart with that shit. Pocket 10's any good? I'm going to really struggle to fold 10s here. I'm going to really struggle to fold 10s on the left here, guys. If he has a king or a jack played this way, then I think he probably just wins it. Good luck, mate. What did I say? What did I say? We're all in here with the 10-9. Don't win the all-in, of course. We're all in with the 10-9 and got punished because we suck at going all in. Sorry, guys, wrong table. There we go. Okay, it's 100x. 100x, a $100 game, a 4x multiplier. Top pair. I think we're just going to do this. Grinding our ass off for this 2x multiplier on the left, guys. Seriously grinding our ass off. Technically, you could call a Jack 10 there against this guy. We're not going to do it. Against this player, we're going to limp the deuces. We're going to trap ace-9 suited on the left. How does this one work out for us? Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Grinding our tits off for this $50.
Actually, if only there was someone that was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
That's what you sound like. That's your voice.
All right, guys, on the left, wish me luck. Queen 10, got to be a call here. Of course, they have ace king. Nice. It just feels a little bit unjust that we would... Feels a little bit unjust that we would always run into it like that, right? Two-barrel bluff on the right. All right, let's focus up on this game. Seems like every time a player is all in short stack, they have ace king, and that doesn't feel right to me. Wow. Nice answer. Surprised he doesn't bet that river. Am I surprised? No, actually, I think it's pretty good.
Actually,
Thank you for the
if
new
only there
follows,
was
guys.
someone that
Appreciate you all.
was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
Thank you to Leeson, Beastie Tumov, Colt Guy, Hop Kizzle, Billy Chongo. It's very nice of you to support. Jack high for the win. Close. All right, 100x multiplier. See if we can make this one work for us somehow. I want to look at the graph now, but I don't want to cheat. I want to look at the graph now because I feel like we're having a good session, but I don't want to cheat. I'm not going to look until we're done. All right, we're heads up. We'll see what we can do. Nice spot for nines. Very nice spot for nines, in fact. Nines full feels good. All right, back in the game. Even Stevens. Gonna limp the 8-9 suited. 6 would be nice, wouldn't it? I think we do this, guys. Six would be nice, yeah. Can we luck box it for the $100? Luck boxed for the $100.
Actually, if
bluff
only
would've
there
gone
was
through
someone that
regardless, it seems.
was an expert at sub 25 big blind.
Thank you for the follow, appreciate it.
That's what you sound like.
That was Tethy. Tethy Y. How's it going, dude? Definitely got a float here, guys. King 9 pretty high up in the range. Plus we have backdoor, straight draw, flush draw combo. That is a pretty good turn, if I'm honest. And now, do we trap check the river, chat? Trap check the river. Trap check the river. Successful for the $100. Trap check activated, executed perfectly. $100. Go. For the $100. Oh my God, it's still glorious. It's still absolutely glorious. Now he's got less than 6 big blinds, and we know how difficult that is for us, chat. We know how hard this becomes. We were supposed to call there if he shoves. Blinds are up. He's only got 2.5 big blinds, chat. He's only got 2.5 bigs. Please! It's a domination situation. That's what we're talking about. Beautiful stuff there, chat. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Ah, that feels good. I don't want to say trap checking the King of Hearts was a stroke of genius, but you know. All right, next game. I don't want to say it was perfect, but Croaks, chill out, bro. Oh, God. Straight in the bin over here. Yo, it's Dennis. What's up, bro? I hope he comes back now. Aaron, mate, guess what, bruv? You banned. That is a pretty good looking turn, guys. All right, wish me luck, guys. King 8 call. Punished. That was a pretty clean game. Sound stressed. Maybe need some golf. I'll take it. Or that, yeah. We managed to tramp down us there. Actually worked out okay. I said tramp. We turned 2 pair. So there's that. King high for the win. King high for the win. Let's go. All right. I don't think I like that river bet, actually. I don't know why I did that. We got $100 on the left here as well, guys. Okay. I almost looked at the graph. I'm not going to look. No, kickoff is not the answer, show me. Kickoff is not the answer, I'm afraid. On the right, we're all in. On the right, we're all in. On the right, we're definitely all in, guys. Wish me luck. The 8-6 suited shove is good. That's fine. It's definitely not a mistake. All right. Do we lead this turn? I'm gonna do it. I feel like I want to do this one on the right. And then do we just value bet the river? Looks like the bluff would have worked anyway. Wow, huge flop. Huge flop. Huge turn. We want him to catch up here. We want him to catch up. I'm actually going to go for value on the river. Can still get called by a king or a jack, no problem. Beautiful. All right, for the win on the right, guys. Feels good to win all-ins, baby. Let's go. All right, that's another victory, gang. And we have $100 on the line in this one. This feels fine. Wish me luck, guys. Okay. Let's go. What's up, Poke Bros? Here to watch Thick Walsh. I actually am really in the mood to play some golf today. Does anyone want to play some golf off stream after this? Croaks, John. I think Sacramento added me as a friend. I think Sacramento wants to play as well. I do not. I just support Thick Walsh. I might have a little sesh after stream because I don't want to. I don't want to keep our mods on for any more time for our nonsense. Yeah, pretty straightforward push here. Lighter Maximo asking for the graph. You got to wait to the end of the session. I haven't looked. You know I'm trying to get better at not looking at the graph. I will fire it up and I will display it. I will show it at the end of today's stream, which we're coming up to it almost. We got a couple more games left. I want to focus on the 4X, and then we'll fire some more tables. That's fine, Croaks. I understand, buddy. I'll do a little solo sesh. I'll fire play around at Sauno, whatever it was called, the sunset one that was really pretty. Ace Queen is a good hand. And it's all in. There was a guy in the late 1930s who would hustle golfers by beating them using only a baseball bat, rake, and a shovel. Love that. Why would you do an off-stream golf when you could just stream it though? I don't want to keep our mods on any longer than they need to for our silly nonsense. For our silly games. Friday there will be an official stream though. Okay, Queen Jack is a call here. I think we're just beating too much. We want to call. Wish me luck, guys. Feels good. Yeah, baby. Big turn. Heads up now. We are less than 10 big blinds effective. Can we defeat Dennis for another 4X multi? I really want this, guys. I want to make this a big session. If we can make the two tabling really work for us, we're in good shape. Come on, baby. Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? actually need to install these buttons. One sec. Party time, toasty.
Toasty!
All right, nice. More tables. Let's do it. Let's play some more volume. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff there. All right. Sorry guys, 1 second. This table is not right. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Table 2 is... Huh, that's weird. There we go. Sorry guys, there we go. Okay, so poker. Lighter says, I want to see Chippy V and money. I do too, bro. We'll take a look at the end of today's sesh. I'll share all the juicy details. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, don't you worry, child. Oh. I really want to hero call this river. I really, really want to hero call this river, guys. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Here comes the hero call. Oh! We are en fuego today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. And then immediately get trapped by Ace King. All right, cool. Nice work, bro. Nice, bro. Nice play, bro. Limp at 14, blind v blinds. The thing is, if he shoves, we still call. Like, it's not... It's just... It's not a spot that we have traps that often, first of all, if at all. And the issue that you encounter is the stuff that likes to shove is probably going to call a lot of the time anyway, so... It seems like a really clever play, but if he shoves, he's still going to get the action he wants anyway, regardless, so whatever. Nice hand. Limp, BVB, 14 effective was Ace King off trap. Very important to note for future. And whatever, dude. Nice hand. Whatever, mate. Whatever. Nice hand. The hero call, all the hard work, all the heavy lifting we did with the hero call, and then just immediately get punished with a massive cooler where we're always going to end up losing money. If he shoves, we call. If he raises, we shove. If he shoves, we call. If he shoves, we call. If he raises, we shove. If he limps, we're going to jam. He's going to have a trap. It's just lame. It's just lame, dude. All right. Jack 3 suited from the button with 6 big blinds is a bad push. I don't think it's a push. If we're heads up, it's fine. I think multi-way, it's no good. We can look at that range if you want, Lighter. We can take a look in a sec, but I think that it's a bit too wide multi-way. Heads up, it's totally fine. Heads up, it's well within a shoving range. Nope. This is going to be this much. Yep. Should we give him the ace high hero call on this river, guys? It's weird that he wouldn't bet any street before then. Guy played ace king to perfection. Clearly. It's easy to play ace king to perfection when you've got a spot where your opponent always puts the money in. Newest man, shut the fuck up. Curtis, you're banned. Curtis, lifetime ban. So as we don't know this guy, I'm actually just going to limp fold the ace-4 off here at the stack depth. That is exceptionally tight, but against the unknown player there, it doesn't feel as nice at all. Ace-3 suited also feels close here on the right-hand side, but okay. Can a 9 win on the left? Oh wow, overbet the river. Interesting. Interesting line, bro. Just the push here is fine. 13 effective. Pretty much any offsuit ace is good. We get the money in good here. That's nice. Beautiful. All right. Winning all-ins is fun, I must say. The occasional all-in and call and win is pretty cool. All right, so we're concerned about him having an 8 once in a while. Guess now we're going for value. Nice. I guess we got called by a 4. Yeah, he's got 3-4. That's what we were targeting with the one big blind size. Getting check raised on this texture with the backdoor flush draw? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Ooh, he's slowing down. Slows down on the turn. Oh my god, how lucky can you get? How lucky can you get, senor? Oh, this is a sad story on the left here, guys. This is a very sad story on the left. We're going to check raise this one on the right. But here first, I guess we're calling. He's got a queen. He's got a queen. Jack 9 is so fucking unjust. All right, nice hand, sir. No good on the left. Let's play the right one. Guy flops the boat against our aces, of course. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Oops. Nope, small multi there. All right, please give him something here when we got trips. Please. No! Pair of eights any good? All right, taking it down. He turns up here with 10-5 offsuit.
Actually, if only there was someone that was,
Thank you for the
was
follow.
an expert at sub 25 big blind.
That was Ivan. What's up, dude? Thank you for the support.
That's your voice.
And this is definitely a call. Wish me luck. Oh, little domination situation. Oh, never mind. That's no. No. I was about to make a comment about how it was our turn to cold deck that guy, but every penny we make in this game, we have to graft. Every single penny we've ever made in this game, we have had to fight tooth and nail for. Never easy. Never, ever easy, it would seem. King high on the left for the win. Ooh, an Ocho might be good enough. All right, ace nine. Let's go to town. Ivan, what's up? Did not know Nick had a channel. It's pretty much brand new. I've only done. I could probably count how many I've done. 1 second. Only done a few so far, dude. I've always streamed on the PokerStars channel basically exclusively, and now I'm doing a bit of both. So I'm on this channel, and I'm also on the. I'm on this channel, and I'm also on the PokerStars channel as well for my usual duties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22, and then maybe like 25 streams total, including just the ones I did before I was on YouTube. Because I'm on YouTube and Twitch now. But welcome. Good to have you here, dude. We actually managed to cold deck the guy who had the ace-king trap, and we still got punished. We have won a few all-ins now, which is nice, though. Having those two tables helps so much. You actually feel like you're getting a shot to win a few bucks once in a while. Having the two tables makes you actually go, that was a bad beat, that was a bad beat. Oh, we won a flip. It's high morale. It's high morale. Can we beat the random on the left is the question. Can we beat the rando on the left? This is probably the more interesting of the two for now. Let's stick here for a minute. And then we'll proceed. with the red table. If you guys have been waiting around for a graph, I will be showing the graph for today's stream in about 20 minutes time at the end of our session. Queen 10 mandatory floats. We just will have the best hand too often. Two barrels is pretty confident. You can have that one. This is not a spot where I think loads of people have bluffs. Hello, Asifo. How's it going, buddy? No good there, no good there. And ace-4 is a hand we're going to go all in with. King-deuce will still have a limp. Alright, just the push on the right. King high with a straight draw on the left. Pair of fives any good? What is he betting on this river? Doesn't feel good. Ace deuce is a call, guys. King deuce suited can just shove 4 around 10-ish bigs. We get it in good on the left. Nice. Oh, we get it in good on the right. Nice. Guys, what is going on these tables? Can you imagine? Can you imagine just getting it in and winning it all in? Absolutely unreal. The weather is lovely, Asifo. I agree, buddy. All right, on the left for the win, guys. That's a good start. And that one's done. We've won that game. We're going to lead with the 5 on the rights. This is just a 2x. Let's fire another game here into that slot on the left. Okay, that's working actually correctly. Let's get that one in blue. And interesting that they check the flop. On the left, we're going to call the shove if we need to with the 5s. If there is a shove. This is a bit of an interesting one, guys. I'm a bit concerned having the 3 of diamonds here. When they check the flop, I think they end up having bigger diamonds quite frequently, which isn't great. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to trap ace 10 on the right here. This is a hand that we shove quite aggressively, quite often. But as a tramp, it might work out in our favor. One and done on the left. And we get it in good against King Queen. Oh my God. What is going on, guys? What is going on? What happens now? Oh my God, what is that? What is the Queen Deuce offsuit? What? Oh, we win this one as well, guys. He was forced all in. So that's a win on the right. That's 50 bucks there. And this guy needs a label because, oh my Lord. No bluff, need bluff. No bluff when need bluff. So this guy limped the button on the right. We have top pair. We're calling the flop. The fact that he limps and then bets massive, this is a red flag. I'm folding. Let this guy on the left go broke. It was also did not raise ace queen suited versus button and SP limp multi-way. There are notes here. There are notes. There are important notes. Let's focus on this game because also that limp over here, bro. Limping king 8 offsuit. I had a feeling about this guy earlier on. But my lord. Domination situation. Yeah, I had a feeling about that guy earlier. And I can tell you that limping the button with king 8 offsuit is pretty unusual, to say the least. Right, let's focus on this game because I actually think there's going to be some interesting spots over here. This player is playing a very unusual strategy. Ace queen suited does not raise versus 2 limps. Pretty weird. Worked out great though. So I guess we go for 2 at least, maybe 3. Should we triple? Should we triple against the guy that has combinations he shouldn't have? Oh, brave. Very brave indeed. Okay. Energy says no. The vibe says no. I'd like to imagine that these situations should be high EV spots for us against the players who are goofing around. He has ace queen offsuit. Oh goodness. Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting line at that stack depth. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Can we get a little value? All right. This might be a huge bonanza for us, this game. This might be for all the EVs. This might be for every EV on the planet. This might be for all the Eves. Pair of nines any good? Nice hand, sir. All right, just chipping away here. Just chipping away. Chip, 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 chip. Nothing flashy, nothing weird. Just chip, 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 chip. Just chipping away. So we can shove ace-5 here against this player. No need. There's no need whatsoever. Just gonna chip, 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 chip. Chip, 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 chip. Chip, 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 chip. Chad Wellington, you've obviously never watched my streams before. Rigged boosted account, you will never run as good as these fake streamer accounts. Oh man, I wish that was true. I wish that was true, buddy. You clearly weren't here for the last couple streams. My rigged streamer account seemed to have been broken during those streams, I'm afraid. But welcome to the stream, buddy. Thanks for bringing the good vibes. Very kind of you. He might have lost the path with ace-queen. Is two pair any good? Got him. King high for the win. Got him. Chip, 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 chip. I am going to value bet Jack 9 twice. What is that run out? We should have folded the river, to be fair, but he starts the hand on the flop with no hand, no draw. Backdoor is a straight. Beautiful. That's my rig streamer account, by the way, guys. That's how you know it's a rig streamer account. Because people backdoor straights against you when you're value betting second pair. Like a genius. Alright, back in the game. Chip, chip, chip. We should have folded the river, honestly. It's actually a really bad call against this guy. When he leads the river big, he's got the hand. Like, he's beating us. That's just how it is. Alright. 4-5 would be sad. Yesterday I considered calling the police in your ears to do a welfare check on you. There's no need. With my rig streamer account, I'm fine. I've been found out. Chad Wellington's got my number. He knows. He's found out the secret. He's discovered the glitch in the matrix. We have a flush. We have a flush. We're going for value. Did you see the trap on the river, guys? Chipping away for the $75. Chip, chip, chip. It's been a while since we've had a game like this. Wow. I'll take it. He limped at 4 big blinds effective with 4-3 offsuits. All right, the chipping continues. The chipping continues, I'm afraid. The chipping continues. Of course! Of course. Of course, guys, of course. Honestly. My rig streamer account is just not powerful enough for this. The rig streamer account can't take it. You can tell it's rigged by how often I take bad beats. Need a chip 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 emote? Back in chip mode here. Back in the chip mode. Queen 6, my god. This is the only way they can beat us, chat. It's the only way they can win. They gotta get lucky. Trapping ace queen? Oh, it's a terrible flop. Oh my god, we have to fold it on the flop. Guy's never pre-flop raised in his life. What the hell? This is a long old game, isn't it? You want an animated exclamation emote? That's a good idea, Tom. I like that. I will be very upset if we lose this game, guys. I might cry if we lose this game. This is the most hard-fought $75 ever. My Rig Streamer account! How could you do that to me? Oh, I need to contact the Rig Streamer account department and ask them what the fuck happened to my accounts. Oh god, it's so annoying. Even if we check the turn and get to the river, there is a 0% chance we're folding Queen 10. 0%. My god, that was painful. Anyway, we've reached the end of the stream anyway, guys. I didn't think that one game was going to take 100 years, but it did in the end, and there we go. So let's do some filtering here, guys, and let's take a look at today's graphage. Oh my god. Fuck me, that was actually pain. Let's take a look at today's graph, guys. All right, so after everything was said and done, guys, we managed to play around 37 games. So I think our estimation between 30 and 40 games for a two-table stream is about right over the course of a 3-hour stream. We ended up winning $220 during today's session, and we ended up having a chip EV of about 22 chips per game. 22 chips per game, that seems a little bit low. That obviously is not what we're aiming for. It did end up being a relatively profitable stream overall in dollars, which is always nice. But yeah. I mean, considering how many absurd cold decks we endured today, I think we did pretty well overall. I mean, how many sessions, how many buy-ins today, guys, did we just do in cold blood against, like, you know, ace-8 versus ace-queen?
Actually,
every time somebody was all in for
was an expert at sub 25 big
anytime somebody was all in for less than 10 big blinds, and we had like ace-9 suited, we're always calling, and they just have ace-king. It's like it's gonna do damage to the chip EV, but it's fine. We're working on it. It's good progress. I think today's stream was actually a great success, and we did manage to win some dollars, which is nice. We're running significantly above EV, which is a nice change. Let's take a look at our year filter. That's what's important. The long term in spinning goes is much more important. And this year, this is not this year. This is this year. We are making steady progress. Overall, chip EV, since the start of the year, 45 chips per game, over 548 games. Net one is still $34.50 in the minus. And again, spinning goes are like that. Spinning goes are a crazy game. At the $25 stakes, we can expect to have a few percent ROI over a long term. And obviously 548 games is not a significant volume in order to try and accomplish that. Also, we're still running way under EV, guys. Look, this is where we should be in chips. We're still under EV. It's very difficult to be profitable in dollars under circumstances where you are running under EV in chips. Obviously, you need to win chips in order to win prizes. But we're making progress, guys. We're heading in the right direction, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, Today's stream, we trialed the first mix between two side-by-side tables and big screen. I think it's been a great success. I think that moving forward, this is something that we're going to adopt, in particular when we take on the Spin and Go challenge. Just makes sense. Playing 37, playing 40 games a session is going to allow us to stream the majority of the challenge, which I think is a lot of fun. And then what I'll do is I'll take that and I'll take that content and I'll go away and make short form with it. Maybe some clipping, maybe some session updates, maybe an update per session if you follow me on my socials, something like that. If anything, I am most devastated about the fact that we lost that last game because, like, actual fucking life tilt. Do you know what I'm saying? Actual life tilt. Stop saying rig streamer account. Curtis, what can I Chad Wellington called me out. He knows the secret. He knows about the secret brotherhood of rig streamer accounts, and he's caught me. Busted. Yeah. Anyway, good session, guys. I feel good about this new technology. I can only imagine that we can improve upon it over time, but this has been a good experiment. Thank you for coming to hang out with me today. I think we're probably going to start with a smaller number. So I think right now, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm thinking about this, I think that we will play something like $100,000 worth of Spin and Goes the first time round. And if you guys enjoy that content and if it is fun for you in 2026, then we might amp that up. We might like start looking at $250,000, $500,000, maybe $1 million in volume. If it's something that you guys really like, what I can do is dedicate every stream to that content from the start of the year. We can play hundreds, for example, and getting to $1 million is not ridiculous if we're playing hundreds, right? Playing $1 million at the $100 stakes means that we play 10,000 Spin and Goes over the course of the year. If we're playing about 40 on average, that means we're playing about 250 sessions in the year to get there. That obviously doesn't include any offline stuff. You know, offline we could 3-table or 4-table potentially. That would be quite an undertaking. 250 sessions out of 365 days in the year with all the travel that we do is pretty huge. But, you know, maybe like $500,000, right? So that number divided by 2. Maybe 500K worth of spins would get us to 125 sessions in the year. That's if every single session was streamed and they were all 3 hours long. So it's doable, but yeah, we'll have a think about it. And if you guys are enjoying that, let me know. So that's a wrap for today's stream. Thank you for coming to hang out. We did manage to win a few bucks, which was nice. Obviously, we're still sort of in this big slump. We're in this big downswing since the start of the year. In fact, since last year even. So putting in more volume is going to allow us to sort of buy our way out of that, to grind our way up and out and try and get more volume in to get those numbers closer together. And that's just the nature of the beast. If you guys want to take spins seriously, you're just gonna break even for ages. You're gonna be on downswings. You're gonna have big upswings. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. You need to play a lot of volume to realize your equity, and then sometimes you get lucky with big multipliers. But we're gonna wrap and put that to bed for now. Tomorrow is the Chat Pro Poker Show. Exclamation mark CPPS in the chat. I can do the same thing on our YouTube now, which is really fancy. That's cool that we can have it on both. The Chat Pro Poker Show is an event that we're having tomorrow, and we are going to stream it from 6 p.m. UK tomorrow. The tournament ID is in the chat now. Actually, sorry guys, that is the Nightbot command on YouTube is broken. Let me send this 1 second. Oh, it's too long. Thank you, Raksha. There, that's what I wanted to share. So registration is open. It's only $5.50 to enter. It's a really fun format. We call it the Goose Hunt Mystery Bounty. Basically, it is a normal tournament until you get to the final table, and then all of the mystery bounties are on the final table, and there's also added value prizes. We're going to do a caption competition. We're going to have last longers, all that good stuff that you guys have come to know and love. If you're new, you can join us, become a chat pro. $5.50. Tournament ID is in the chat now. 6 p.m. UK is the stream, but if you register now, that means you'll guarantee yourself a spot. There's a 500 player cap. We have never failed to cap this event in several weeks. Several episodes. So go and join. After that, guys, Friday I'm going to do another golf stream. We're going to play PGA 2K. PGA 2K25 back here on Nick Walsh TV. That will be on Nick Walsh TV. Chapter Poker Show will be on PokerStars. And then on Sunday, I'm off. So basically, Friday's the last stream of this week. I'll be in Monte Carlo from Sunday. Don't forget that the Sunday Million Phase tournament is happening this Sunday, so you can actually play a Phase today, qualify for day 2 today. There's lots of ways to qualify and get into the Phase event, and that means that Sunday Million will be bigger on Sunday. So join the Phase for Sunday Million. Join me tomorrow for Chapter Poker Show. Join me on Friday for PGA Golf. And then join us in Monte Carlo for our coverage of the main event from Tuesday of next week. After that, it gets a little bit crazy because we're going to have scoop coverage. So on the 12th of May, I will be back here in this office from Monte Carlo. We're planning on doing a stream on Monday. We haven't decided what it is yet. And then we're going to be doing daily streams from 2 p.m. onwards every day, which will be highlight final table replays from the session before, from the night before, just in time to get you guys warmed up so you can watch all the action from our streamers at PokerStars all throughout the evening in their events as well. And I might even do some evening streams myself, but we'll see how we go. That might end up being an offline thing. Thank you for the comment, Aaron. We will enjoy VR drinks. Play spins on your phone while you're commentating. Can you do that?
Actually,
thank you, Ladder Maximo. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the new follow as well.
Big blind,
New follow
That's what you
is
sound like. That's your voice.
Nigoropo. Thank you. Jabadaba. Thank you for the follow. Snake Roko. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you guys. Right, I'm going to wrap it there. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow from 6 p.m. for the Chapter Poker Show. Go and enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.